This video will guide you how to set up an ICEP multi-license. Before starting, I should note that the appearance of the software could change a little bit from the time of this recording, and that's mainly due to any software updates or upgrades that may occur, but the steps should remain very much the same. It also assumes that the ICEP testing has been done on the iPad. For more information on ICEP testing and ICEP training, this is covered on a separate video. So in order to set up an ICEP multi-license, then this can only be done on the ICEP website. It cannot be done on the iPad application. To find the ICEP website, then you can Google under icept.co, that's co.nz, and when you bring up the website, it should look something like what you can see currently on your screen. So to create the multi-license, then go across to the Login tab on the right hand side, select Login and Multi-License Accounts, and you should get a page something like this. In the middle, you'll see a link that says click here for multi-license login. Click on that one, and the login panel should now be displayed. If for some reason there's a problem bringing this login panel up, then it may be that you need to shift to an alternative web browser. I can recommend Chrome or Safari. So looking at the login box there, you will see a link that says create account. Click on the create account link, and this will bring up a list with a whole bunch of fields. At the top of the list we have the administrator name, and this basically is the name of the person that would be overseeing the ICEP program. Similarly with the contact email, this would be the email of the person overseeing the ICEP program. Further down the list, then we also have an account email, and this would generally be the email of the organization. Also enter a password, and my advice is to keep this password simple. Read through the terms and conditions, and then select the Create Account button. When this button is selected, it will send an email automatically through to the ICEP support desk, and the reason for this is so that we can validate your account. This may take anywhere from 10 or 20 minutes through to a couple of days, and once this has been done, we will then be in contact with your organization to say that your multi-license account has been activated. So let's get rid of this one here. I'm going to assume now that your account has been activated, and for this demonstration I've created a fictitious setup. So I'm going to enter an email address, CoolSchool, and a password. Now select Login, and what you should see is your multi-license account being displayed. If you look up in the top right hand corner, you'll see the name of your organization, which I've called CoolSchool. The arrow pointing down, there's a couple of links, one with your organization details and also a logout button. Next, I would refer your attention there to the total number of licenses remaining. In this case, it shows 9 licenses remaining, and that's because the licenses can be purchased in blocks of 10, and I already have a student showing on the list. In your case, this would read a total of 0 licenses remaining because you haven't perhaps yet purchased any licenses. To buy the licenses, click on the Buy License button, and this will bring up a purchase button. When you click on this one, it will take you through to PayPal, and you can either purchase the 10 licenses using PayPal or by credit card. You don't have to be registered on PayPal to use the credit card. Now, if your organization doesn't have a credit card facility, then at this point you can exit out and contact the ICEP support, and we can set you up with 10 licenses and then invoice you directly with our bank details. So I'm going to assume now that the 10 licenses have been purchased, and let's now set up a student, add a student. So the student that I'm going to set up, let's call Jesse James. So this is exactly how you would be doing it. Confirm the email. This of course could be the email of a student or the parent. When it comes to entering a password, I recommend keeping it very simple. So I'm going to go with Jesse 01, all lowercase. And now let's enter a date of birth. So I'm going here with December the 1st, 2004. Now select Create Account. And you'll see that Jesse James is now showing in our list. Now the moment you select Create Account, this will actually trigger an email to be sent off to the address that you entered on the setup, and it will ask the receiver, either the student or the parents, to confirm a link, and by confirming the link, this will activate the student's account. At the moment, the student's account is not activated, and this can be observed by looking at the status column there. In the status column, you'll see that it is registered as P. This means that the account is pending, but it's not yet active. Once the parent or student clicks the link, then this will turn from a P to a capital A. Now I'm going to show you how to set up the training activities, and to do this then you need to select or click on the icon of the pen on the left hand side. So let's do that. And this brings up a list of all the training activities. Now I'm going to go through and select the activities for training. And I've actually created a fictitious set of test results for Jesse James, and ideally you will have printed off a copy of the report so you can look down the report and based on that select the activities for training. So in this case, GC requires iTrack voluntary, the visual span, visual count, gap detection, and temporal order. So it turns out that GC also failed on the visual spatial test, but because of his age, 12 years of age, then this doesn't always show up unless the score is very, very poor, and that's because over the age of 10, students are less likely to want to engage in the kind of activities that are used in the visual spatial task. So I'm going to leave off the visual spatial. Also of interest, the temporal order. This was actually borderline on his testing, but in this particular case I'm including it because GC has obviously failed a number of skills here, and as it's borderline, I'm including it in his training program. So click the confirm button on the bottom right corner. And now I'm going to click student list, and I'm going to click the page icon next to the pen icon just to demonstrate a few other key points. Firstly, you'll see the activities are listed there under view results, and this is where you would go to have a look at how GC is progressing with his training. Also, there's an update student details button, and you'll notice when you look down the account details, the status is set to P. You can actually change that at your end to capital A. Now this can be useful because the parents may not receive the email, or every now and then an email will go into the junk box and things can get overlooked. So this just enables you to take control of the system at your end as the administrator. So that's been successfully saved. Now I'm going to go back to the student list, and when you look under the status column, you'll see that GC is now fully active. So at this point, GC is able to go in and do his training. Typically this would be on the iPad. If you wanted to set up a student to do the training on the computer, then this requires going to the website. Let's just go and take a look to the website. Going to the support tab, and there's an option there to download ICEP training for computer. Now basically what this is a zip file that can be downloaded for either Windows or Mac, and the zip file does have to be unzipped. Once the file is unzipped, then I would recommend keeping a copy of the unzipped version on a USB or on a computer somewhere so that it can be copied across to other computers as needed. So I'm going to assume now that GC is going to do his training on the iPad. So here we are on the iPad app, and to start training, then click on the ICEP training button, and you'll notice a login button up in the top right corner. Click on that one. The login will retain a memory of the last email used. Let's put in GC's email. and now select Login. Great, you'll see the training screen come up. Click the Start button, and if you look here, you'll notice that the tasks that we selected for training have been selected. If I click the iTrack task and start, then you'll see that we're all set up for training. Welcome, Jesse James. I'm going to go back. One thing to keep in mind with the iTrack activity, that because Jesse is 12 years of age, then we need to add some more training sessions. So for ages 12 to 13, this should be 42 days. So this would involve adding another 14 days. Currently it's on 28. To do this, you can go across to the Purchase button. Now, of course, there's nothing to purchase because Jesse is functioning under the multi-license. So go across to iTrack Voluntary and click on the Add Sessions, another 14 days, and then select Add Sessions here, and you'll see that it's automatically increased to 42 days. Let's go back to the main console, and you'll see that iTrack Voluntary is now 42 days. So this basically sums up how to set up a multi-license to the point where the student can log in this case on the iPad, but also possible to do on the computer. It is possible to function between more than one device, so either an iPad at school or an iPad at home, or a computer at school and an iPad at home. Training should be done on a regular basis, and always have the students start at the top and then work their way down to the bottom. Each training task should be completed before starting a new task. For more information on ICEP training, then I recommend going to the ICEP training video.